Hey there, curious minds. Welcome back to the channel. All right, folks, gather around. Let's talk about Bitcoin, the digital currency that everyone's heard of, but few truly understand. Think of it like this. Remember those online games where you could earn virtual gold? Bitcoin is kind of like that, except you might actually be able to buy a real-life pizza with it someday. Now, some people will tell you Bitcoin is the future of finance. Others will say it's a volatile bubble destined to burst. The truth, as always, is probably somewhere in between those two extremes. But hey, who doesn't love a little risk and excitement, right? But seriously, Bitcoin is fascinating because it operates independently of governments and central banks. No more stuffy old institutions telling you what to do with your money. It's like the Wild West of finance, except instead of saloons and dusty trails, you've got lines of code and cryptographic keys. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive into the wacky world of Bitcoin. Okay, so you want to know how Bitcoin actually works? Well, first you got to understand the blockchain. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Imagine a giant spreadsheet that keeps track of every single Bitcoin transaction ever made. This spreadsheet is public and incredibly secure thanks to cryptography. Think of it like a digital Fort Knox guarded by math equations. Every time someone sends or receives Bitcoin, that transaction gets added to this giant spreadsheet. Each new entry or block is linked to the previous one, forming a chain, hence the name blockchain. This chain is maintained by a decentralized network of computers all over the world. If one computer goes down, the rest of the network keeps on trucking. So we've got this giant public spreadsheet called the blockchain, but how do new Bitcoins actually come into existence? Remember those old cartoons where prospectors would swing pickaxes like crazy to find gold? Well, Bitcoin mining is kind of like that, except instead of pickaxes, we have powerful computers, and instead of gold, we have, well, more Bitcoin. Miners solve complex problems to add new blocks to the blockchain. The first to solve it gets rewarded with freshly minted Bitcoins. These world problems require a ton of computing power and specialized hardware. Some estimate Bitcoin mining consumes more energy than small countries. But hey, that's a whole other can of worms for another time. Section 4. Miners, the unsung heroes and heroines of cryptocurrency. Let's take a moment to appreciate the unsung heroes of the Bitcoin world, the miners. These are the folks who are literally keeping the lights on, or at least keeping the blockchain running. They're like the digital equivalent of those guys who keep the internet cables from getting tangled at the bottom of the ocean. We don't really know how they do it, but we're sure glad they do. Of course, miners aren't just doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. They're incentivized to mine Bitcoin by the prospect of earning those sweet, sweet digital rewards. And as the value of Bitcoin fluctuates like a roller coaster on a sugar rush, so too do the potential profits for miners. So the next time you hear someone complaining about the price of Bitcoin, just remind them of the hard-working miners who are out there crunching numbers and keeping the dream alive. They're the real MVPs of the cryptocurrency world. Section 5. Bitcoin's future to the moon, hopefully. So, what does the future hold for Bitcoin? Will it revolutionize the global financial system? Will it become the currency of choice for intergalactic space travel, or will it crash and burn, leaving nothing but a trail of broken dreams and discarded hard drives in its wake? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Predicting the future of Bitcoin is like trying to herd cats. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and might leave you with a few scratches, but hey, that's part of the fun, right? One thing's for sure. Bitcoin has already come a long way from its humble beginnings as an obscure internet project. It's sparked countless conversations, spawned a whole new industry, and made a few lucky, or maybe just incredibly smart people, very, very rich. Whether it ultimately succeeds or fails, Bitcoin has already left its mark on the world, and that, my friends, is something worth talking about. Section 6, conclusion. So, you want to be a Bitcoin billionaire. Well, there you have it, folks. The hilarious, slightly terrifying, and always entertaining world of Bitcoin. We've covered the basics of blockchain, explored the digital Wild West of mining, and even dared to dream about the future. So are you ready to cash in your life savings and go all in on Bitcoin? Probably not, and that's okay. Like any good financial advisor, which I'm definitely not, I would advise you to do your research, and proceed with caution. But hey, if you're looking for a wild ride and a chance to be part of something new and exciting, Bitcoin might just be the ticket. Just remember to buckle up, hold on tight, and try not to check your portfolio every 5 minutes. And who knows, maybe someday we'll all be laughing about our early Bitcoin investments from our moon bases, or maybe we'll be reminiscing about the good old days when a cup of coffee only cost a few bucks. Either way, it's going to be interesting. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.